Hello everybody and welcome to another video. This one's going to be slightly different in that it's more of a vlog and less of a painting guide, but I hope you enjoy it anyway, because I definitely had a good time. Let's crack on. So this one's going to be a little bit different in that first you can see me, and second that I'm going to be travelling for it, and also directly for it. I've got tons and tons of Legions Imperialis to do. So I'm going to go to Wales, because my good friend Monkey is always available when I'm in a bit of a painting pinch, and we're going to split this in half and see how much we can get done in a single day. And as a little bit of a twist, I'm not going to be doing the Space Marines. Got my coffee, got instructions, got a monkey. So we're looking at the first of these boxes. So it's worth saying these were all provided free of charge by Games Workshop to Winters, who's given them to us so that we can do a battle report for him, because we're suckers. So we've got loads and loads and loads of teeny tiny little Space Marines. So much so that the camera doesn't want to focus on them very well. And then we've got tanks and stuff. So basically you get 4 sprues of Marines and 4 sprues of Solar Auxilia. There's some layman rasses at the bottom there. And we've also got all of that to get through. So we're going to see how far we get with a single box of building. And if we're making good time, we'll start on the second box. We're going to leave the Titans for today because they're like Dreadnought sized. I think that's the plan. And then I want to do some Bane Blades, but we'll see how far we get. I did my first like line squad. We got those guys over there. What did you say these were, monks?
So tiny, super tiny.
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
I've got loads of troops now. So I've done every single troops and Ogren and Sentinel. These are quite cool. They don't look like normal Sentinels though. It's a bit odd, but there we go. They're there, sat on the side next to Monkey's lamp. And I'm about to start on my tanks. I've got some Malcadors and some Layman Russes. And Monkey's doing tiny baby Sakarans. Do you know you're loading them out on the sponsons?
Well, you get 2 of each. So you get two sponsons per tank, which is quite nice.
Nice. Oh, 2 turrets is that, sorry?
2 turrets.
2 turrets, nice.
Turrets
so you've got some plasma
things.
and some autocannons.
Yeah.
And then you're doing like, what, they're bolters on the sides or?
I think I'm going to go bolters on the autocannon type ones.
Yeah.
And then I'll do some mass cannons on the others.
Very cool. Well, I'm going to start on these, who I think I've seen them on Forge World once. And yeah, no idea what they do. So I'm going to go through all this and figure out what they are. I've built my first tanks and they're really, really cool. I haven't had a Malcador before, so I'm pretty chuffed with how these look. And I obviously went for the big compensation guns because they're cool. I put a little gunner in one, little binocular man's in the other, and I'll be moving on to the Layman Russes in a second. Got some crisps to eat. They're called Walkers in the UK. They're called Lays everywhere else. And yeah, there's no Bram, but there's a Bonnie. Hi, Bonnie. She's sweet. She's a miniature poodle, I think. And she is very small, and she likes licking my hands. But yeah, she's cleaning. You're a bit like Bram, aren't you? But you don't bark as much. Look at that side eye. Good girl. Yes, you're a good girl. Yes, you are. Anyway, less of that. Back to this. So all the Layman Russes are done. Oh, there's a dog. I heard you. All the Layman Russes are done. Everything from the box set, bar the Titan for the guard, is done. And now moving on to no. Yes, these ones. And then I'm going to paint and see how far I get. So I'm at the point now where I've done this. Thanks to Monkey, he's given me some sticks. So I'm going to take them out and spray them with my chosen base colour. And the Bane Blades are chunky, and I love them. I don't think I mentioned that. I knew I was building them, but they're chunky. And Monkey is on his 3rd Predator now. Yes, third predator.
Good.
Third predator. We're going to get there. But you're going to do something different. So you're going to paint your guys on sprue.
Yeah.
And we're going to see who wins.
Do a bit of this, like. No idea if it's going to work, but
we'll see. Yeah, well, I'm going with the method I use for 40k, which might be stupid, but we'll see. I've already snapped 3 off and had to glue them back on, so we'll see what happens. Okay, all my guys are sprayed. Monkey is getting ready to spray all the things, and I'm going to try and keep this as simple as possible. I used Raven Black from Colour Forge, which is like an actually grey kind of colour, not that you can necessarily tell. And then I'm going to be using Black Legion on all the weapons parts. And then I'm going to do all my silver parts with Vallejo Dark Aluminium. And then I'm going to do all the brown parts with Rhinox Hide, which I can't find. It's somewhere in my pile. So, here it is. Boop. So we're going to be doing that, and then we're going to see how they look and figure it out from there. So lots and lots of base coating later. I'm at this stage with the vehicles. I've done the little stripe and some reds, and so a little bit of black that you can't really see. But the guys are where I spent most of the time, and it sucks because you can't really tell. They're grey and red and brown at the moment, so there's bits and pieces all over these, and I'll be adding more to the banners in a bit. But now I'm going to go into the metallics, and I'm hoping this changes a lot? Question mark? We'll see. So I'm now at this stage. I've chipped all the tanks. It's kind of hard to see, but they have been all weathered up, and all the metallics have been done. I've got to do some Nuln Oil. I'm going to add one more layer of metallics, and then I'm going to go onto the bases, and these guys will be done. Let's have a quick look at how far Monkey's got. We've got some dudes on sprue with red bolt guns, and honestly, I really like that red. Well, you know, you'll get there. It's all good. Instead, we're looking at the rules.
Yes.
Because we actually didn't know how many points these armies were. Turns out not many. This entire force plus 2 Warhound Titans is 1,500 points. And each average game is what, 3k?
3,000 points.
Yeah. How much should we work out you've got?
About 1,400 something.
1,400 something. And that's with that, 2 Titans and the Kratos Heavy Tank Squadron. So Monkey's got his work cut out for him. I've got to figure out how to do 2 Titans at some point, but I'm going to finish these today at least. So I'm calling it. This is as far as I got. I've Nuln Oiled the bases after adding some metallics. It's basically battle ready. There's a few things I want to add, some more colour to these grey bases. I'll get some proper pictures and video and stuff soon. But yeah, quite happy. This turns out minus some Titans is about, what, 1,500 points? So, wait, Titans are 330 points each. So 660 for 2 Warhounds. Yes. So it's a lot less than 1,000 points. It's about 800 and something points, all this, which isn't too bad. If I did that in a day for normal Warhammer.
Oh, you watch that.
Yeah, but it's not normal Warhammer. So they're going to go into my little case to go home. We're just splitting up the terrain, ready to do a battle report with Winters at some point. And I've been given the book, so I need to learn the rules. But yeah, Monkey, you didn't move much further than when we last checked in, but...
I painted some black on the sprue, but that's brick, really.
Yeah, well, I like that, though. They do look good. I already prefer how they look to my lot. My lot just kind of muddy. But we'll see. I'll be able to maybe add some highlights or something. Maybe it's the lighting. I don't know. Who knows? Not me. But I had a really good time. I need to tidy up now. I arrived here about 9:30. And we started pretty quickly, maybe say 10ish. Yeah. And now it's like
6:30.
6:30. Yeah. So that's a lot of painting. So we're going to call it there. I'm going to drive home. I'm not going to document the drive home because it's not as exciting as the drive here. In the dark. So yeah, Monkey, thank you very much. We'll check back in soon because I want to do the Titan on my channel. I want to see what you do with your Titans. And we're also both pretty excited about the War Master Iconoclast Titan, which is in the box. And we're like, ooh, that's a big guy. So, yeah. Thanks, I guess. Thanks to you. Thanks to them. Bye. All right, here we are back at the desk. So the guys are now here, and you can see them a little bit better. So there's still a few things I want to do. Namely, I think I want to add some more colour to the figures themselves. So I'm going to add a red shoulder pad to all of the infantry with las guns, and then figure out how I feel about the flamers and so on. But I think I can add colour to the flamers by adding muzzle burn and stuff on them. Some purple on the end. And for all the axe guys, I'm going to add a little bit of like an ash wood handle using some of these colours. So that's what I'm going to go for that. And then the tanks, I'm going to do a little bit more chipping. This time with some Mornfang Brown, which I can't remember if I brought with me previously, but I think that's just going to add a little bit more variation to them. Yeah. Also the rockets on the Sentinels, just trying to add a touch of colour here and there, because there's a lot of grey and brown and a bit of black, and it's a bit boring to look at, so I want them to be slightly more interesting. I might also be able to add some stripes to the tanks other than the squadron markings we've already got, but we'll see. We'll check back in soon. I've just added a bunch of that brown to the tanks, and it's added so much. I don't think the Rhinox hide shows particularly well on small vehicles like this, so I do recommend going brighter than you'd expect. So that's one lesson I've taken away. Go brighter than you normally would. So I'm going to now add those extra colours I mentioned on these guys, and also perhaps a couple of bright grey highlights to the very tops of the models, just to really help them stand out. And then from there I'm going to figure out where to go next. Okay, we're now this far along, and I'm always noticing that whenever I do this angle, it's really hard to see that anything at all has changed. But what I have done is added little red shoulder pads. I've also highlighted, and these guys are really starting to pop. The Ogrins, I've brightened up their skin heads, I don't know, a little bit more, just to add a bit more contrast to it. And my next steps now are to add some more colour to the bases and some other stuff. I don't know, there's a few more bits and pieces here to do, like this guy, the tactical command, he's got like a stack of books or something he's leaning on. Don't quite know what it is. Things like an auto lectern, perhaps. It's really hard to focus on these. So I'm going to have a go at that. Other than that, I'm not sure. I have also added to the axe guys some blue shoulder pads and the axe hafts, and some purple to the muzzles of the flamers. There's a few bits here and there. I've also noticed everybody, I think I made a joke earlier in the video, it might not make it in, but just that, oh, they don't have eye lenses, but actually they have a strip of like eyes across, so I'm going to go through and dot them in like a bright green. Just one coat, bright green, moot green from Citadel, and I think that's going to also add a ton. And I'm also going to add some lenses to the tanks in the same green. My normal tanks in real life in 40k have like red lenses and stuff, and there's not a huge amount, but because they're so big you can add loads of contrast and stuff to them. These are so little that it's really hard to get that contrast, so I'm going to add some green to really break up that silhouette. But I'm starting to feel a lot happier about these than I was. Yeah, we'll get there. We'll check back in once those eye lenses and bases are done. Okay, I think we are about there, barring the banners, but what I've done is added the lenses to everybody, you can kind of see those, and to the tanks. And I think that's added a whole lot to this force. So these guys are looking good. I also added some more grey to the bases, like a different tone of it. Washed them all with Agrex shade, which is drying now. And now all I've got to do is finish off those banners, as I said, and then do the black rims around the bases. And that's 800, 900 points, whatever it is, of Legions Imperialis. I'm going to do another video on the Titans, or Titan, whichever one I decide to do, because I think that's going to be fun in and of itself. But yeah, these guys were really cool, really quick to build, and given how many points this is, still somewhat quick to paint. So yeah, if you look at it in 40k scale, like you want to play mini 40k, then you've got easily a 2,000 point army here, probably more. I don't really know the points of these guys, but I know the Baneblades together are almost 1,000. So yeah, 2,000, 3,000 point army here. So if you want to play baby 40k, here you are. You have an army done in a day. Well, day and a bit. I left early, but yeah, this is where we're at. You see why I normally do voiceovers? I just ramble. Anyway, let's finish off the bases, and then I'll show you the final result.